Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Levi's Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was deafening. They're set for football as the 49ers get ready to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Niners heading out behind their 6-year quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy, of course, sat behind Tom Brady for much of his tenure in New England. Won his first 5 starts as a Niner in 2017, then the injury last year. So still some question marks surrounding number 10 out there under center. Now a play fake here on first down. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big play on the catch and run covering 34 yards. Well, there's a pretty big start right there. They go bombs away on the first play from scrimmage.
Put a smile on your face, didn't it? Not because you're rooting for anyone, but that's the way to begin a game, to put someone back on their heels and announce that they plan to be aggressive.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Washington now out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Washington. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. Touchdown, 49ers! A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So they get the ball on the opening drive. They take it in for the score.
And how about setting the tone right away? Everyone talks about wanting to do that, but you always hear it in every locker room. First 5 minutes of the game, who's going to set the tone? Who's going to take control? Guess who just did?
Well, now on the next drive, when you score that quickly or you're scored that quickly again, probably feel like you need to respond.
Yeah, without a doubt. In other words, you've actually put the pressure even more so on your opponent.
So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So now the Rams will get their first opportunity with a football. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, We're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
And this offensive line, they're going to have to be a lot better than they were right there. We certainly won't measure them just by one play, but they definitely got a big challenge ahead of them in this one because this defense, they love to run blitz, and they clog up the running lanes.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. Let's meet the starting 11 on defense for San Francisco. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And the focus now is making sure that they're hitting on all cylinders as they head into the playoffs. And that means they've got to stop the run better because playoff football often means running football. So they've got to be prepared for that.
Looking to throw. Irving. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. And Sanders has got it complete. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, this team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
It'll be a 1st down for the Rams there on a pickup of 18. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Gurley with a carry on 1st down. He'll only get a couple. 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Back to throw. Irving.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start the drive with Washington. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 29-yard line.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
With the score, Niners 7, Rams 0.
Here we go. 180!
On 2nd down now, it's Washington, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. George Kittle, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And he's got Fitzgerald. There goes Larry Fitzgerald. Touchdown, 49ers. Larry Fitzgerald, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Gold to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game. And typically,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. An extra DB for the 49ers now on third. Looking to throw. Irving, and they'll set up the screen to Gurley. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Irving over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee, but it'll be 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Gurley. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. That's a gain of 13, 1st down Rams. So many questions about Todd Gurley in the offseason. How good is the knee? I mean, remember, he had a heavy workload the last couple years, nearly 4,000 yards from scrimmage, 40 total touchdowns, but just 4 carries in the NFC Championship game, 10 in the Super Bowl. So we'll see what kind of usage he gets this season. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. A gain of 3, 2nd down. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now a draw play for Gurley. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's a gain of 13, 1st down Rams. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot, but what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
On 1st and 10, Irving, and nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. To throw again, Irving. And eventually he's taken down here. Great coverage downfield, resulting in the sack. Eric Armstead racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. '49ers have an extra defensive back on the field, a nickel set for 3rd down. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Hey, man, watch the boot, watch the boot.
Throwing on 3rd and long, Irving. Man open, it's Kupp, he's got it. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This will be the first red zone opportunity now for the Rams. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Looking to throw. Irving to the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Todd Gurley, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. 2nd and 9 now. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. But now it's 3rd and goal. So 3rd and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their defense. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Zuerlein, of course, last year had likely the iconic field goal of the season, booting that 57-yarder in the Superdome to send his squad to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you really hurt the Saints fans on that one, didn't you?
Sorry.
They didn't want to hear that at all. But this guy deserves his nicknames. Greg the Leg, Legatron, because the ball goes through the post at a heavy rate, 87% in 2018.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo who was brilliant in that first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 32 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Gurley now out of the gun. And down to the 36-yard line here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Another carry now for Gurley. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Irving. This is caught. It's Cooks. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Cooks now in his 2nd season with the Rams. He's had 4 straight years over 1,000 yards. He had 2 with the Saints, 1 with New England, and then he went over 1,000 again last year with the Rams. 80 catches, 1,204 yards. This quarterback now 6 of 17 throwing the ball, only 35%, but he does have a 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. That'll be caught by Cup. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Irving. And the Niners get there and bring him down. DeForest Buckner, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there, but, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run, when to get rid of the football and not take the sack, when to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
And Zerline's kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go with Washington to begin the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll go as a 1st down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Now on 1st down, it's Washington again. Corey Littleton, Pro Bowler for the first time a season ago, in to make the tackle. From the 44, Garoppolo, the first catch of the game for George Kittle. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10, all the way down at the 21-yard line. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter. On 1st, here's Washington. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Bust through the tackle. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
And this is what coaches talk about, never being satisfied. No matter what the lead, always trying to increase it. You never know what can happen in this NFL.
Now Gold for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one, picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. We've seen the pressure get to him several times in this game. There, though, we see him escape it.
And we've seen this rookie video before as well. That type of pressure, oftentimes, what do you resort to? Your legs, try and escape. What you hope is that this doesn't become habit for him, that he learns how to handle the pressure, still keep his eyes downfield, and make some throws.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on second down. 2nd and 2. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores, want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Irving. Past the 20. He gets it to Cooks. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards that time. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Cooper Kupp, his 5th touchdown now on the year. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Zerline connects on the extra point as this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This one taken from the 7. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
It's 3rd and 7.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. He's back to throw. And that's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
Back to throw. And that's complete to Cooks. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down, L.A. They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a 1st down for the Rams there on a pickup of 18. On 1st down, it's Gurley. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And this is caught. He's got it for a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, it's all going to come down to a 2-point conversion.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
Listen to this crowd now. Their guys need a stop on this 2-point conversion. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And it's the 49ers who recover it, and that ought to just about do it. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. This is Mostert. So the victory here for San Francisco. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for the Niners, it's an important win for their